Hello, my name is Helen Bowles and I work in the Education Data Division at the Department for Education, and I'm here to talk to you about completing your return. These slides list the topic areas I will be covering during the presentation. This presentation is designed to guide school users through the various aspects of CLECT, from initial submission, data validation and final approval by the Department for Education. The CLECT portal is used by schools, local authorities and the Department for Education for processing data collection returns. Major benefits of the portal include real-time data collection monitoring and progress reporting, the ability of a school to view exactly the same information as the Department for Education when queries arise, and being a website there are no installation issues. The department now collects data from a wide range of users. Generic terminology must be used within CLECT. A provider of data is known as a source. An agent is someone who undertakes verification and checking of the data, and a collector is the final destination of the information. Access to CLECT is through the department's secure access system known as SA. Once you've successfully registered, click onto Home and then click onto CLECT to enter the system. To proceed into CLECT, please click on the Continue button. The data collections linked to your account can be seen under My Data Collections, as shown in the slide. Select the collection you wish to open by clicking on the collection name to highlight it, and then click on the Select Data Collection button to open it. The source page provides a summary of the latest position with respect to the selected data collection. You will see the information on the current status of your collection return and will be presented with a number of options as shown on the next 3 slides. To load your return, click on the Upload Return from File. Use the Browse buttons to locate the XML file, which is generated via the School's Management Information System. Highlight the file name and click on Open to select the return. Click on the Upload button to load the return. A progress message may be displayed while the upload is taking place. Once the return has been loaded, the following message will be displayed on screen. This indicates that the return has successfully loaded and is now placed in the validation queue to be validated. Press the OK button to return to the source main page. Once the return has been validated, you need to view the data and look at any queries or errors that have occurred. Once the return has been validated, the Return Status section on the source main page will display Loaded and Validated. The total number of errors and queries found in the return will also be displayed. To view your data return, click on Open Return. Your return will then be displayed. You can view the return details by clicking on the various View All links at the bottom of the screen. When you click on the View All for pupils on roll, this takes you into the Pupil section. This displays the record list with all pupils visible. You can use the filter bar to identify a particular pupil or click on the headers to sort alphabetically. To edit data within your return, click on the Edit button. This enables data fields to be manually edited within CLECT. When a return has been uploaded, a number of validation checks are run against the data in that return and will trigger errors or queries. All errors and queries are highlighted in red against the relevant data item. There are 2 levels of errors: return level and data item level. The breakdown of errors for a school return is shown in the Return Status section of the school's main screen. Return level errors relate to a validation rule that applies to the return as a whole rather than an individual data item within the return. To view all errors and queries on the return, click on All Errors at the top of the screen. You will then be shown a list of all the errors and queries relating to your return. Click on the Details button to see which data items the validation is checking. These will show to the right of the screen. If you click on one of the underlined fields, you will be directed to the corresponding data item in the return. Identify which of the fields contain the incorrect value and return to the screen that contains it by clicking on the field value in the Details section. Either correct in your management information system and reload the score census file to collect, overwriting the incorrect one, change the mode of the form to edit, and then click on the data item that needs to be changed and update it, ensuring that you reflect this change within the school's MIS. For individual queries, you may be requested to provide explanatory information. The next 3 slides will provide further instruction on how to add these notes. The school is responsible for submitting the return once the data has been checked and any explanatory notes have been added. By submitting the return, the school have indicated that the head teacher has checked the return for accuracy and completeness and therefore authorising the submission to be used by the department. Please see the following on how to submit your return. A number of reports are available on Collect. Return to the source page and click on the Launch Reports button. A drop-down menu will be displayed and a report can be selected from that drop-down list. It is extremely important that you run all of these reports as they may highlight issues within the data which can impact on all funding calculations. Duplicate reports will indicate pupils who are registered at more than one school and therefore would indicate if the pupil should remain on roll or whether the registration status has been recorded incorrectly. In some data collections, duplicates will be required to be resolved. Failure to resolve duplicates in these collections may impact on the funding calculations for your school, as each pupil is funded only once. There will be individual user guides for reports on the website. The next 9 slides will guide you on how to select your reports and the various formats in which you can export the reports. If your file does not appear, you may need to adjust your security settings. Please see the following slides for further instructions. Before viewing the return, it is useful to understand some of the basic controls and screen operations as below. The next slide will help you to navigate through the system. Mode buttons will determine which operation mode the on-screen data form is in and which operations are available, as laid out below. Please see some useful hints on resubmission, navigation and amending errors. The next slide will provide instructions regarding Collect access. In addition, if you are experiencing any problems with CLECT or have a data collection query, links have been provided so you may get in touch with the Data Collections Help Desk. I do hope you found this presentation helpful, and thank you for watching.